Each one of us understood one, so we're still missing.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
ויפח
באפיו נשמע חיים. ויצר השם אלוקים את האדם, עפר מן האדמה, ויפח באפיו נשמת חיים, ויהיה אדם לנפש חיים. We seen that pasuk.
What page? Page 93.
So we just a little recap on what we've learned in the Ramban last week on the words Yermoz lanu hakatuv hazeh, that this pasuk, yes, hidden, כן, מעלת הנפש, יסודה, the importance of the nefesh, its foundation, ויסודה and its secret. Why? כי הזכיר בה שם מלא. Because the Torah, for the first time, brings a complete name. What is the complete name? It is Hashem Elokim. Hashem Elokim. So we explained what the Ramban is coming to teach us, which is an introduction to what he's going to say, Be'ezrat Hashem, what we'll learn today. That there is, this is in those words of Sod and Yesod, the Sod and the Yesod are the key words to address the Ma'ala, the Chashivut, the importance of the Nefesh, which here means the Neshama. And where did the Ramban see this? In the word Hashem Elokim. Why does the Torah suddenly introduces Havaya Elokim? So we've explained that Havaya means spirituality. Elokim, or yes, Elokim means physicality. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu introduces the Olam, the spiritual world, and interacts in the spiritual world with Havaya, here specifically, okay? And Elokim, at least in Maasei Bereshit, and in Elokim, with that's referring to the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that interacts with physicality, right? Then Haga in Olam Hazeh, in the Maasei Bereshit. And what the Ramban is coming to tell us here is that the Torah has brought a hidush, that the neshama of man is a mix of the two, is a mix of Havaya and a mix of Elokim, is a mix of a divinity, which is Havaya, and it's also a mix, has to it a portion or an aspect that is also connected to physicality, which is Elokim. That's why a soul, yes, relates to the spiritual world, but can also coexist with the physical world. And we explained al pi Kabbalah what that means. That Yesoda is at pi Kabbalah, and when you use the Yud, which is the Chokhmah, right, connects to the Sod, which is the Binah, yes, when the Yud, which is Havaya, connects with the Binah, which is Elokim, yes, together it brings to Yesod, which means the foundation, or the Makor, or yes, of man or woman, which brings life and reveal the potential, yes. So when the Yud and the Sod are together, it makes Yesod, which is now the opening for whatever potential to come to reality. So too is the Neshama, yes? And we said the same thing. The Neshama, if it has these two dimensions, Havaya, which is Chokhmah, and Elokim, which is the Binah, right? Which it means that you will find inside the neshama the dimension of Havaya, which is the Chokhmah, but you will also, right? And Chokhmah is expansion, is knowledge, yes. And you will also find the Binah in it, which was the discernment, yes. And these are paradox, they're opposites, but together, yes, the neshama now expresses itself in man through what is called the da'at. The da'at is the fusion, the hybrid between the chokhmah and the binah. When it gets together and it lives in harmony and in osmosis, it brings life to what is called the da'at, and the da'at is the practical realization of the chokhmah and the binah together. Yes? So, and this is the secret that the Ramban saw in the pasuk Vayipach ve'apav nishmat chaim, because of the Shem Hagadol, Hashem Maleh, that he brings. So says the Ramban that Yermoz lanu, there's a hidden secret in the pasuk in this pasuk. Ma'alat nefesh, yes, the greatness of the nefesh, the importance of the nefesh, and what is it? Yesoda. Right, the yesoda. It's because it comes from it's the foundation, the yud and the sod. Vesoda, but it's mekor. Where is it born? The neshama is born in the bina, right? This was why we explained also why the bina, inside the bina you have teshuvah. Teshuvah is called bina, because what does it mean to do teshuvah? It means to go back to the core essence of your soul, and from there to reformat. That's called teshuvah, right? Because the teshuvah and the neshama both are born and come from the bina. And why did he see this? Because the pasuk brought those two words. The combination of a havaya, chokhmah, and Elokim, bina. Together brings out a potential to a reality which we call as the da'at. The da'at is the ability to differentiate between the emet and the sheker, and project practically, yes, the outcome of an analysis of some chokhmah. This is the definition of the soul. Is it clear this time?
Yeah, very clear. But he saw all that in 2 words.
Yes. Wow. Hashem Elokim. Why does the Torah says Hashem Elokim? And like Bobby mentioned also, the extra yud in Vayitzer, right? The 2 yudim that we have in Vayitzer. Until now, we're good? Yeah, we have, okay. That was just a little recap on last week's shiur. So, if we come, according to the Ramban, to give a definition of what is the neshama, what is the soul? What's the definition of the soul?
The potential of, right?
The soul is the fusion of chokhmah and binah,
To make that.
which is expressed in man through what is called the da'at.
Okay.
Yes. So if you don't have your chokhmah and your binah, if you don't develop your chokhmah and you don't develop your binah, and you don't behave based on your chokhmah and your da'at through your chokhmah and your binah through the da'at, then you don't express your neshama. You don't live with your soul.
But you have your soul inherently.
Exactly, I was going to say. So what?
It doesn't matter, but it's dormant. The whole avodat Adam is to snap out of the Yetzer Hara, to snap out of the instinct and the animalistic behavior, right? Which is motivated by the body and the instincts of the body, and now elevate yourself to start seeing and behaving through through the da'at.
You can't have da'at only if you're perfect.
What does it mean? No, you don't have to be
Meaning,
perfect. Yeah.
You're describing someone who is perfect.
No, I'm describing someone that is in control of his actions, and is not behaving like an animal because he has an awakening and he desires to do something at any point of time.
Okay.
So going again. So if you're not connected to the neshama, so you're behaving like what?
Like an animal. Says the Rambam, you're no better than an animal. The Gaon goes further in Kohelet and says that even your Torah and your mitzvot have 0 consequences in Olam Haba. You're going to get reward, but you did not impact your Olam Haba at all. If you do your mitzvot and your Torah, don't touch your feet when you're in Torah. Yes, with your nefesh and your ruach. Out of instinct, out of mechanism, mitzvat anashim melumada. So, It's only once you infuse your behavior, your actions, your speech, your thought process, your identity through the da'at, that you are now connected with the dimension of spirituality, which is above the olam hazeh, and now you're related to the olam hakiseh, because that's where the neshamot are, in the world of the kiseh, which is in olam habriah. Yes, and now you have an impact, right, in the worlds that are completely independent from the worlds of limitations, and that's how you build your olam haba.
How do you do that? Physically, how do you do it?
Go and learn Pirkei Kinyan HaDa'at. I have all the shiurim on it to teach you.
The what? The what?
Pirkei Kinyan HaDa'at. I have a whole seder on it, and on the Rambam to teach you how to become a bar da'at. Once you become a bar da'at, you live with your neshama.
Give us what's the headline?
That's the headline.
Well,
You have to conquer the animalistic.
No, but that's okay.
That's what it is. That's what it
that you
is.
typically have.
That's what it
every
is.
day.
No,
That's,
but-
yes,
but-
yes.
But conquer the animalistic nature is.
Yetzer hara.
That's step one. Now, step two, developing your da'at through da'at Torah and through knowing what to do and how to behave based on the Torah. That's called da'at. That's called behaving with your neshama.
Can you give us one thing that you would do to, I know there's a book on,
Yes.
One thing or two things that,
So I have a practical guide, okay, that I teach my students in the kollel, and all my avrechim must go through that. Okay, it's called the Discovery Program. Discovery. The Zohar Kadosh, and I think we've addressed this in the past, but the Zohar Kadosh says that a person is weaved with three characteristics, three essential traits.
yeah,
Okay, to each their own.
Oh,
To
okay.
each their own. Yes. And a person has to be able to identify what they are. Yes. So I make them take a white piece of paper, draw a black line in the center, and write all their pros and all their cons. And then after they wrote everything, all their qualities and faults, now reorganize them in categories. You will find at the end that if you're well organized, three categories. Chesed, midat ha'emet, gibor, whatever it is, yeah. Then once that is done, step two is to relate to those kochot within you. So what do? 5 times a day for 40 days, you're going to be proactively doing actions, yes, related to one specific midah, one trait, and follow the positive outcome of that behavior. So you're proactively doing something with one of your traits, yes, and you see the positive outcome. You do that 5 times a day for 40 days.
the same thing or 5 different things?
No, different things that relate to that specific trait. You finish the 40 days, you have awoken within you one of your traits that define your purpose in this world.
And what do you do with it?
1 second, then you live with it. Then you, after you've done the 40 days, you pass to the second trait.
You've already lived with it. That's how you.
No, because you never. No, that's not true.
You bring it to your consciousness.
Yes. Now it's under your control. It's not just reacting. Yeah.
So if my main thing is chesed,
I'll give you an example. Chesed. We'll talk about chesed. Yes. I think I repeat myself a lot because based on what my grandfather told me something. Your yes is worthless unless you can say no. It's only once you're able to say no that your yes has real value.
you taught me that.
Okay. So if you're Baal Chesed and you cannot say no, yes, that's not good Chesed. That's bad Chesed. Correct? So we want to bring Chesed to your awareness and your control. So now Chesed becomes something good. Good. So
Sorry, this isn't necessarily balancing your negative, right?
I'm not there yet.
Uh-huh.
I'm not there right now. That's how I said it. The first part is the discovery program. So you do that. You do 4 sequences of 40 days, 5 times a day. After 120 days, yes, if you're diligent about your work, you will identify who you are, and you will know now which trait within you, yes, you need to use in what circumstance. Okay, so that already motivates you to deal in every situation, no matter what the situation is, based on one of the kochot that you have, one of the traits. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you those 3 specific traits for a very unique reason, which is to reveal your potential and serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu and serve your purpose.
3, but you're really coming to 1.
No.
Why 1?
You said 3 traits,
You
right?
have
The
3
three
traits.
But after 120 days, you're developing the 1.
No.
No, not the 1. Then you know what you are made of, those
Yeah.
3 traits, and you have the ability to now use one of those 3 traits
Okay.
in every situation. So that now stimulates the individual to, because he knows who he is, to be able to interact, yes, and find the right koach in each situation. So you're not just reacting spontaneously. You know which koach to find and to take and to apply.
That's a great thing to do.
But is there
1 second.
Chinese categories?
1 second.
Sorry, are these specific categories?
There's no
that have to-
specific. You put it together at the end. You say, okay, I love helping. I love answering questions. I like carrying bags of when I see somebody. It's all coming down to chesed.
But it's all exactly. It's all you.
So you need to work.
Back to chesed. So is it?
I'm telling you to each their own. There is midat emet. Some people they're very emet. They cannot tolerate sheker. They cannot tolerate sheker. Yes. So you know that you have koach of midat emet. For some people, it's rizut. They cannot be lazy. They cannot waste time. They need to be always proactive. Okay. So you pick up your kochot and then you apply them. Everybody's with different.
I'm curious how you actually figure out your categories.
That's part of the work. That's the hardest part of the work.
Exactly.
It's even harder than applying it, but that's the discovery process, and a person has to do it on their own. Yes, everybody I ask, they get puzzled. I say, okay, give me your 3 kochot, 3 characteristics. They cannot tell you 3. They're going to say a lot of things, but they're not going to say 3 clear. Nobody knows who they are. Okay, so that's number 1. Now, number 2 is how do you start the process? Yes, so Rabbi Yerucham says that 5 times a day you have to stop your instinctive behavior. I walk on the street, I smell pizza, suddenly I'm hungry, let me go buy pizza. No, what do you mean? You weren't hungry a minute ago. Why suddenly you're going to hold back and stop? Okay? That's a stupid example, but there's other examples, yes? You're in the middle of learning, you're in the middle of something, I need to pick up the phone and call, but you don't need to call right now. Finish what you do and then call, right? Now, so holding yourself back from instinctive reactions, build a muscle of resistance. And that's how you start controlling the animal that's within you. Yes? That's controlling the Yetzer Hara. Once you have controlled the Yetzer Hara, or that instinctive behavior, you need to start using another source of power within you to behave. Because if it's not instinctive, it has to come from somewhere else. Where does it come from? It's going to come from your intellect and your analysis. That's called da'at. Now, the more you have Torah, and the more your assessment will be aligned with the Torah, and the more you will have what is called da'at Torah. And now, your behavior, every time you behave like that, you infuse your neshama into your behavior. And the more you have, you live like this, and the more that pipeline of your neshama grows, yes, and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, until most of your behavior is fueled by your neshama. And now, through your neshama, you start impacting not only whatever action you're doing, but beyond that. And suddenly your thoughts can transcend. Suddenly you can start picking up information through your thoughts. So now you can start seeing things that others don't see. Your words start having an impact. That's what we call the tzaddikim. Yes, that ho'im sof ha'olam ve'ad sofo. They can see from one end of the world to the other. How can the tzaddikim know what happens when they're that's how they do it. The Rebbe Milubavitch, Baba Saleh, the Kedoshim, Reb Chaim Kanievsky, yes, Chacham Ovadia, he was a giant in Chokhmah, but he had Koach HaTfilah, incredible. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. So yes, I gave
Fantastic.
okay. So now so comes the Torah, And with a hidush, that you are not limited to the nefesh haya of the animals, which came or from the water, or on the 5th day, or from the earth on the 6th day, which we've learned. Your neshama, your nefesh, you're made from something else. What are you made of? You're made not only of Elokim, nefesh chaya of the Elokim, you're made with a nefesh chaya of Havaya Elokim. And that Havaya Elokim is what rises you above the limitation of creation and allows you to tap in to kochot that are beyond this world. Yes? And that's the nature of the neshama. And all this, says the Ramban, why? Because the neshama is created in the bina, right? So the neshama becomes what? A sod. It's a secret. You don't see it, right? And when do you express your neshama? Only when the sod is connected to the yud of the chokhmah, right? It's only once you plug the chokhmah into your system that now you can bring out that potential, and that's called the da'at. And now you express your neshama. The neshama cannot be expressed without chokhmah. It's not possible. Because the expression of the soul is called da'at. And da'at is the application of the harmony between chokhmah and bina. Good? That's what the Torah reveals to us when the pasuk says Havaya Elokim. That's the Havaya is the Yud, Elokim is the Sod. Yes, Sod. That's how the Ramban reads it. Good?
Question.
It only took you 30 minutes.
Question.
Get excited.
Question. So neshama is in Adam Rishon. So that means all humans.
That's a
have
machloket.
neshama?
That's a machloket between the Rambam and the Mekubalim. According to Rambam, everybody has it. But the issue is that nobody taps into it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a beautiful present. It's called the Torah Kedosha. And through the Torah Kedosha, we have the ability to enhance it and tap into it, and that's the Rambam. According to Mekubalim, the Ran, the Gra, the Arya Kadosh, etc. No, that neshama, yes, was kept intact, right? Throughout the Dorot, Noach and Shem. Everybody else destroyed it. They clogged it. You know, it's like you have a pipe and you don't even know it's here because there's walls and walls and walls. Yes. And then what HaKadosh Baruch Hu did, yes, on Matan Torah, through the Torah Kedosha, because that was he created a pipeline direct to him. That's called an Nishmat Israel, right? So that's the to answer your question whether everybody has it or only Am Yisrael. Well, but good. Right now we're talking about the let's continue a few words of the Ramban. Okay. Ve'amar. Now he explains. Kiu napach be'apav nishmat hayim. He blew in the nostril, right, the spirit of life. And I'm going to explain what it's very important. Leodia, to come and teach us and tell us, kilo ba'alo, that the neshama didn't come to him, min hayesodot, from the elements, ka'asher ramaz benefesh hatenuah, like it was in the nefesh hatenuah, in the living creatures. Like what, for example? Like the animals of the 5th day from the water, and the birds, etc., or the fish, or the chayot and the behemot on the 6th day. The ones from okay, so it doesn't come from water, and the neshama doesn't come from earth. Gamlo beishtalshelut min hasechalim hanivdalim, and it also doesn't come from the malachim, from the angels. It's a complete different essence. Aval hi, the neshama, ruach Hashem, a spirit of God, Hagadol, Hashem Hagadol, of the great, mipiv, from his mouth, da'at utvuna, comes da'at and tevuna. Okay? That's a portion of the pasuk in Mishlei. And ki anofeach be'ape acher, because when you blow in the nostril of someone else, minishmato yitenbo, you give of your soul. Okay? So now, here the Ramban learns something else. Like, and he's explaining to us why is the neshama coming from the bina. He learns it from one word, vayipach. From the word vayipach, he blew. The Ramban will learn that the essence of the neshama comes from the bina. Why? I'm going to explain. Look at what he says at the end. When you blow in the nostril of someone else, you blow from your neshama.
Right.
Right? When you blow, when you go like this, it's air coming out. When? But when you blow, right, you blow from within. Yes? So you don't just want to transfer air. You want to transfer of yourself, right, from within, from the inner out. That's vayipach. Now, how do you blow? You blow with the mouth. Nachon? Now, what is the mouth in the sfirot? Malchut, Pe Torah shebe'al peh, Karina, nachon? Tanat v'Eliyahu.
What?
The Malchut,
Okay.
Pe, Malchut Torah shebe'al peh Karinan la. The Pe is the Sefirat HaMalchut, the last Sefirah.
Right.
Okay, it's called Malchut, and that's referring to the mouth, right? What does that mean? That means that Hakadosh Baruch Hu, yes, injects the neshama through the Pe, because when you blow vayipach,
From his mouth.
yes, 1 second. When he's from his mouth. Okay? Now, what does Shlomo HaMelech says? He brings the pasuk, mipiv, from his mouth, da'at u'tvuna. Yes? From his mouth comes what? Da'at. Da'at can only be what? What did we say? The harmony, the fusion between Chokhmah
Bina.
and Bina.
Right.
That. And it went udvuna, and what is the tevuna? Tevuna is Bina, right? Tevuna is the expression of Bina. It doesn't go higher than that. From here, the Ramban learns that when he says vayipach be'apav, right? So it means from the mouth, what comes from the mouth of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from the midat HaSfira, okay? Nishmat Chaim. Nishmat Chaim. And what's the definition of Nishmat Chaim? Says Shlomo HaMelech, da'at u'tvuna. So it is the emergence, it is the yesod, okay, that utvuna, that goes up to the tevuna, which is the bina, which is the sod. This is why he says yesoda vesoda. That answers Zach's question from last week. It should be saying soda and yesod. That's it. Now, good?
The breath
Yes.
originates deeper than the mouth, though.
Exactly, that's the expression. That's how he gives it. But the transfer is through the mouth. But what is transferred?
Your soul.
That comes from the bina. So the bina gives of itself, which is the tevuna, gives birth to the da'at, and that's what comes out through the mouth. Now, al pi Kabbalah, he uses another 2 keywords. So we have the Malchut, nachon? That's clear. He uses, aval he, the Neshama, Ruach Hashem HaGadol. So what is the Shem HaGadol in the Sefirot? No. No. What? Okay. Okay. The Ruach and the Shem HaGadol both refer to the Zeir Anpin. Zeir Anpin is the combination of 6 Sefirot, which is Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. All 6, right, represent one entity that's called the Zeir Anpin. It's like the sun, yes, and the sun marries the Malchut, which is the Nukva, right? It's like there's a marriage between.
No, you lost me. You lost me. Go again.
We have what is called Partsufim. In the Sfirot can be arranged in many different ways. One way of arranging the Sfirot is called Partsufim, like entities. So, for example, the Chokhmah is called Abba.
Right.
The Bina is called Ima.
Yeah.
And then the Da'at is born, okay? And it gives birth to the Zeir Anpin, to a son. What is the Zeir Anpin? The Zeir Anpin is Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. And the definition and is called the Zeir Anpin is called Hashem HaGadol, because it represents in the Partsufim the Havaya, which is the Hashem HaGadol. Okay, good. And now that Zeir Anpin, that son marries a woman. That woman, which is a stranger, okay, is called the nukva or nekeva, the nekeva, and that's the malchut. That's what the malchut only receive. It doesn't have nothing of itself. Why it doesn't have anything in it? Because it's not an evolution or nishtal shelut.
It's a result.
It's you know
Not a result.
it's a vacuole. It's a vessel that just connects, that plugs in to receive. Right? So the son of the Abba and the Ima, which we call Ze'er and Pin, right? Marries, bonds with the Nukva, the Malchut, yes, and gives the Malchut everything it received from its parents.
1 second. It marries the nukva.
Correct.
Nukva is the malchut.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. So now the Pei is the Malchut. Yes. So that's what comes out, right? That's the result. Is the Pei. Now, but what did the Pei take out? Ruach, which is the Ze'er and Pin, Hashem Agadol. So that means that what? That means, says the Ramban in codes, that the Bina, yes, transfers its essence, which is, the transfer is called Tevuna, yeah, and brings life to what is called a Da'at. That Da'at, yes, now comes down and infuses and gives birth, or empowers the Ze'er and Pin, what we call the Chasanim, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzarot, Yesod. Yes? And that's what comes out through the Pei. So when the Neshama that is born in the Bina, yes, and it can only be born in the Bina if it was what? Influenced by the Yud, by the Chokhmah, right?
But I thought the peh comes from the malchut.
Yes.
But you said it comes from the Ze'er and Pin.
No. The Pei is the Malchut. The Ze'er and Pin. No, the Pei is it's the vessel. It's only the vessel. It's what opens and closes. But what comes out? It's the Ze'er and Pin that has been infused from the Bina and the Da'at.
Okay.
Right? So all this, yes, all that essence, all that power now is transferred to the Adam through the Malchut, through the Pei of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why is that so important? What did we say?
Because the animals don't have it.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But so that you can now differentiate yourself from the animals.
Right.
By using that, now suddenly your dot can have a direct impact and influence on your chasadim, on those midot. But if it was detached, you would have had two distinctive systems. The one that is intellectual and the other one that is animalistic. And both could have coexisted together in different behaviors, right? When I think, and when I'm an animal.
But you have to marry the two.
Oh, this is the purpose of man. This is exactly the reason why we came to this one and why we have the Torah. In order to infuse our behavior through that koach that is within us. So now, nobody can come, says the Rambam in Sefer, in Perek Shevi'i of Shmone Prakim, no man can come and say, I was pre-formatted to be like this and I cannot change. This pasuk comes and shut the mouth of anybody that comes and says, this is how I'm made. What do you want? Hashem made me like this. That's not true. That's not true. You can say that as long as you behave and you live like an animal. But the moment you tap into your neshama, all the ingredients to change and elevate yourself are within you. And that's the power that has been given to Adam.
So the spiritual being fused with the animalistic being allows the animalistic being to realize, creates da'at, right? Wouldn't it be better just to be the spiritual being?
So you mean like, let's be just angels?
Or angels, do angels have neshamot?
They're essences, but they don't have neshamot. But then what?
They don't have an holistic soul either.
The purpose of creation was before the Chet of Adam Rishon. So it was so that HaKadosh Baruch Hu and man, okay, and humanity can enjoy each other's chasadim. How? Through the kiyum mitzvot, through doing mitzvot.
If Adam Harishon didn't have the chet,
Yes.
would he have all the mitzvot and all the
Sure.
things and all?
Sure, but what do you mean? Le'ovda u'shomra. Before the Chet, Adam HaRishon was given 2 mitzvot. Guard the Gan Eden and multiply. Peru urvu. Right? Why Peru urvu? Because that's the most fundamental mitzvah. If you don't have Peru urvu, you cannot do any other mitzvot. So says the Sefer Chinuch, this is why it's the first mitzvah of the Torah and the most fundamental one. That's the birth of all mitzvot. Right? And that's a commandment.
Okay, another question. What
But-
happens if he didn't sin?
That's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I was saying. If there would not have been a sin,
Yeah.
so the Adam would have kept Shabbat, right? Because there was the Erev Shabbat. He would have kept Shabbat, yes, and then there would have been an enjoyment, an exchange of joy and enjoyment between Adam, or humanity, and Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Humanity would have made the mitzvot and make HaKadosh Baruch Hu happy, which would why? Because they would give Hashem now the ability to shower His love and His knowledge and His abundance on Adam, and that would have been the circle. That would have been the circle.
Would there have been freedom of choice?
Yes, because Adam had this choice. He was free. He had freedom before also, because he chose to sin.
If you want to get to that, then it's not really the forum. The question is, one, why did Hashem really need this?
No,
Yeah, why
please don't stop it.
Because there's no answer. Don't say no. And the other question is, of course, he knew that he's going to sin.
מה זה קשור עכשיו? What does it have to do with anything right now? That has nothing to do with anything. Don't confuse.
Let me ask you a question. No, just because it's relevant with Hashem. The Kadosh Baruch Hu obviously created the world for this purpose, but he knew that his creation is going to sin.
Mhm.
So you would think that there is that the purpose was eventually for Adam to sin and to do teshuvah.
Correct.
Go through the
Yes,
process.
yes.
You can't say that the
Yes.
purpose was.
If Adam would not have sinned, and that's what's going to happen after the Tikkun HaOlam. Because there is Tikkun HaOlam, and there is a Mashiach, and there is Tahirat HaMetim, and the final objective that was supposed to happen in the beginning will happen. Sof Maasei Bereshit Tchila.
He chose to sin. It's different.
But but Kadosh Baruch Hu knew that he's going to sin.
It doesn't matter if you know. He still gave him the you're entering again. The question of Bechira. We're not in subject of Bechira right now. We'll talk about the Bechira when the Bechira comes.
No, but the question with that is, just to finish this, you do a surgery on a patient. If you know from the beginning the surgery ain't gonna work, would you do the surgery? No. So you're not.
But who said it didn't work? That's his plan.
No, because the question is, what's the result? So
but at the
Boris has to
end,
be the
no,
question.
but at the end, what should have happened before Shabbat or on Shabbat will happen at the end.
Basically, what you're telling us, or what the Torah is telling us, the whole 6,000 years was a plan from God.
Yes, absolutely.
He knows what's going to happen.
Nachon,
He gives us free will,
nachon.
but he knows what's going to happen.
Yes, I'll tell you an
So
example.
why wait 6,000 years?
That's
For it to happen. Why not 10?
That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu's plan. Why?
There's so many questions.
No, because if there was these are questions of the creation was 6 days. Why did he create it in 6 days? Create it in 1 second. He created it in 6 days. There's a reason for that. Okay. He created it in 6 days. The whole 6 days were now spoiled, right?
Spoiled?
Yes,
Lama?
because Adam sinned.
Why were they spoiled? It's part of the plan.
No,
No, what do you mean spoiled?
You ask why 6,000 years?
Yeah.
Yes, because at the end it was supposed the week should have ended with a Shabbat, which is perfect, right? Now there was no Shabbat that is perfect because he sinned, right? So he impacted the entire creation. So those 6 days were not completed the way it's supposed to, right?
So if he didn't sin,
Yeah,
what would have happened?
it would have been a world of perfection. That's what I just said.
And we don't have to, there wouldn't be 6,000 years?
It would have been infinity,
Infinity. Okay.
infinity of what we understand.
Right, I understand.
Although there are versions that say that men would die because of deterioration of the body, but the spiritual. I was reading this.
מה
That-
אתה מדבר?
מחילה, there's-
מה פתאום?
אם אדם היה אוכל את
There was
זה,
no, there
There
would
was-
not have been any deterioration.
So-
The
so
hair
everybody
there, the hair
everybody
there,
will live forever?
yes. And
ChatGPT.
whatever definition of forever means, yes.
Or it's only
As long as
spiritual?
HaKadosh Baruch, no, it would have been, it was physical.
So everybody would live forever?
Whatever forever means, as long as HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted the world to exist,
Of
yes,
course, but
yes, yes,
This, coming back to this, so this ruach of Hashem that comes through the pair.
yes.
This is the same thing in Tehillim when David HaMelech is talking about Kol Hashem versus Davar Hashem. Is meaning sometimes he'll refer to the voice of Hashem.
That's
as opposed
different.
to
That's different. The voice and the davar are different kochot. That's the vocal cords already. So you tap into another pchina of the sirot.
Mhm.
But I just want to finish. Okay, well, maybe you cannot finish. Okay, maybe.
Just do
What's
it.
this
Go on.
paragraph?
Okay,
Ki
do it.
Yisod.
you may still live, you know?
וזהו שנאמר ונשמת שדי תבינם. In Yov, ונשמת שדי, right? תבינם. So you have, he wants the Ramban wants to learn that the name Shagai, right?
Mhm.
The neshama comes from Shagai, yes, but is really a source by Tevinem, by the Bina, right? So the Ramban brings us a Mekor from Yov, okay, to support what he's saying, that the neshama that is expressed by Shagai, yes, Tevinem comes from the Bina, right? So Shaddai is Malchut, but its essence is from the Bina. That's why he brings this pasuk in Yov. כי הוא מיסוד, הנה, כי הוא מיסוד הבינה, right? It comes from the בינה,
What is he? Ki
The neshama.
the neshama,
Okay.
מיסוד הבינה, it comes from the בינה, like we
Right.
said, okay? בדרך אמת ואמונה.
מה זה אומר?
That's another keta that if we really want to do it well, I want to pause here because the emet and emuna is referring to the yesod of Abba and Ima.
Why don't you explain to us
So
before that?
none of
The purpose,
You know why?
what's
you
the
can't
pur-
just read these words and every
No,
word
no,
means
no, but
nothing?
better. If nothing means nothing. What does it mean? Ki hu mi yesod habina bederech. It's from the yesod of the bina. Okay, bederech emet ve'emuna. In a way of emet and emuna. What does emet and emuna have to do with anything here? Because we're talking about the neshama. What do you throw me now? Emet and emuna. What is emet? What is emuna? Yes. If you want,
what is the
The
purpose?
emet emunah is the
yesod of Abba and Ima. Yes.
uh-huh.
Meaning it ki hu mi yesod. The neshama comes from the yesod of the bina. Bederech, in which way? In the fusion of the emet and emuna together.
What is the purpose? Can you explain to us the structure of all the spirot and the patzufim and the explain the just from a very high level. The purpose of all the spirot is to bring down the essence of the Kadosh Baruch Hu to the kli for us to be able to receive it.
על פי הסוד, the yesod of Abba, the yesod of the Chokhmah, right, is expressed as a Zer Anpin. It's the boy. That's why naturally the father and the boy have a very strong connection. Yes, it's the pride of the father. It's the boy more than the pride of girls. That's
Yeah.
okay. Now the same thing with a woman. A woman, she's closer to her daughters and to her boys. Right, that's the emet and emunah. The emet, which is when you have the yesod of the Abba and the yesod of the Ima, the emet and emunah, both now express themselves. Emet, which is the ze'er anpin, also, and emunah, which is the malchut. And that's what he wants to say. That so ki hu mi yesod abina, right? And bederech, and so he comes from it's yesod, the birth of the neshama. He's from where? From the bina. and it goes down through the derech, בדרך של האמת, through the זעיר אנפין, ואמונה and the מלכות.
Yeah.
How do you get all that from those two words?
Well, because these are keywords.
But who's teaching you emet ve'emunah means zerampin and chokhmah?
Zohar.
זה על פי הקבלה. זה הארי הקדוש.
So you didn't answer my question because I think
It's
that's
חיים.
where there's a deficiency here in the
What
brain
deficiency?
trust.
What?
Explain, there's a deficiency here in this group of the table, not there, of understanding all the sfirot. The
Yes.
purpose of all the sfirot
Yes.
is what?
It's a structure. It's a structure of ishtalshelut. It's so that the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu can go from its essence and go down, 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 and HaKadosh Baruch Hu through the sfirot will create behaviors, okay, of being kind, of being judgmental, of rachamim, yes, proactive, show his back, show his front,
Of what?
of Hashem. Hashem, the way he behaves with the world. He behaves with us, he interacts with us. How does he interact? He interacts through those sfirot.
If you move the sfirot around, you said before you can create different groups, right?
There's different patterns.
What does that mean?
And the different,
Meaning you can go from Keter Chokhmah and then go down straight to Chesed. You don't have to go through the Bina. Or you can go to Chesed, you can go Keter Bina, Bina all the way to Gvura and then Malchut. That's Rosh Hashanah, for
it has a different
outcome.
outcome.
Better,
I'm
for
sorry,
sure.
but
For sure.
So it's like a puzzle in a sense?
Yes.
the
Yes.
the spirot is a constant system that Kadosh Baruch Hu constantly comes down.
Yes. It's a structure. It's a structure. It's a system.
Okay.
He put a system, a spiritual system in place, and he says, okay, this is the vehicle I'm using, okay, to express myself, to express myself, to interact with the world.
In every person, in every moment, in
I told you that many times already. You have circular sefirot,
Right.
and you have linear. Circular is the world, is the creation, is general. Species, the trees, chairs, tables.
Kadosh Baruch Hu interact with the table species.
That's his will.
The rabbi said there's fire in the wood.
Okay, but that's creation. Like
No, there's a will. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Wadai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's a will.
But does that go through the spirot?
Betach.
Through
It has to.
circular spirot.
Yes. Individuals is linear.
But I'm sorry, but so all the system is in the circular spirot. You can take this flavor. In the circular spirot or in the.
Both, I'm telling you, both.
So this
You have
system
you have a circular system, and you have a linear system. The circular system is everything that has to do general, nothing specific, saying to individuals. Linear is specific. Each one.
My question is this system of all the
Yes, the linear.
is
The linear or the
only in
circular?
the linear
No,
or in both of them.
both. You have Keter, Chokhmah,
Ah,
Bina,
okay.
Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, until the center is
Linear, they.
just like this. Like this, like you know.
But no, but you have that diagram that you can go.
Yes, correct.
But in the circular you can't.
No,
Right. So
no.
circular has to go through
Correct, correct,
the.
correct.
But if each one of them represents a different way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu interacts with us, then in the circular, doesn't it have to go through every one of them
It
in order
does.
to get to us?
Correct, it does.
And
It does.
in the individual, it doesn't. So
No.
it could skip certain things.
Correct, correct.
So the idea is that. So the idea is that with this, okay, so basically what, again, on my stupid words, but it's in essence with the straight line, the how HaKadosh Baruch Hu interacts with you is very customized. to
Yes,
that moment.
that's called Hashgacha Pratit.
Okay.
That's called Hashgacha Pratit.
So,
Now you can only enjoy and benefit or understand the Hashgacha Pratit if you tap into it. That's a dot. If you don't tap into your neshama, you don't have access to all that pipeline. It's there, yes, but you don't understand it.
And
You don't.
have to, in order to tap in, you have to conquer the
You have to disconnect from the.
animalistic.
Oh. Yes, exactly.
If I walk in here tonight, I want to eat. That's animalistic.
It depends.
Do I have to conquer that?
No, maybe you need to eat to have to be concentrated on your mood
Sure.
and on your show, and you say that you now you need, let's say you need, you know that to satisfy whatever you know, because your hunger, you need to eat 6 pieces. Yeah, but you go for a second round. That's not, has nothing to do with you now being concentrated and it's tava, it's a desire because it's not, that's animalistic. No, hold back and say, what? I'll have it after the shiur, or maybe I'll have it later, or maybe once again, I'll have the dinner later. Oh, who knows?
Got it.
The Rambam says that the lowest version of man is the man that cannot control himself in food. There's nothing lower in the eyes of the Rambam. Yeah. So,
Munjara.
Baruch Hashem.
Munjara
So we-
doesn't.
Left on?
I'm good. I'm good. So we just okay. We're stopping. והוא מאמר בספרי. No. וזהו שאמר ונשמט שדע את אבינם, כן? כי הוא מיסוד הבינה בדרך אמת ואמונה. We'll explain in depth בעזרת השם next שיעור אמת, אמונה, etc.
I'm getting you, for next year, you'll have a whiteboard.